part of me is like, maybe I should wait until I look a little bit more like put together for this opening clip, but I think why the heck not just do it right now. So as you can see by the title of this video, I'm going to be reading my 2023 anticipated releases. Some of them will be covered in other videos, but this one is specifically that don't necessarily fall in any kind of video per se. So in this one, I am reading a book that is coming out in June, a book that is coming out in April, and the other two are mysteries so far because I haven't yet selected them. But I figured why not do a little bit of a vlog of reading my anticipated releases and the proofs that I have on my shelves, because I do want to read them before they come out. Some at the moment, some of them won't necessarily be the case because we're already in March, and I do have some January, February, March proofs that I just haven't gotten to. They will kind of, I think, fall in the back burner for this project, but they will be tackled this year. That's my plan, is anything that comes out in 2023 that I have a proof for, I'm going to be reading. As I said, some of these will be covered in other video series that I am currently in the process of, so that's exciting. But I think without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into what I am currently reading. The very first one I have here is Happy Place by Emily Henry. Obviously, this is one of my most anticipated releases for the year. This comes out in April. I don't know if we're matching the date in South Africa, but for the first time ever, Emily Henry will be in hardcover, which I'm really excited for because I will probably be buying the hardcover of this book. I'm about 64 pages into this, and basically we follow one character. Her name is Harriet, or Harry, or whatever her friends call her, Harry, and she is part of this group of girls who met at college by chance. They were roomed together and they believe that fate brought them together, and because of that they have this really strong friendship, which you can really see coming through. You know, they've bonded, they've connected. They always go to this one place, Knott's Harbor in Maine, US. At this place is Sabrina, who is one of the three friends. This house, like holiday house that her dad owns. She's really wealthy. It's so interesting because these friends all come from like different backgrounds, and it's very, very interesting to see like the contrast and how they just work as a dynamic. And basically this is a second chance romance, if I'm not mistaken. So Harriet and Wynne are the perfect couple. They go together like bread and butter, gin and tonic. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Every year for the past decade, they have left behind their lives to drink far too much wine and soak up the sea air with their favorite people in the world. Except this year, they are lying through their teeth. Harriet and Wynne broke up 6 months ago, and they still haven't told anyone. This is the last time they'll all be together here. The cottage is for sale, and since they can't bear to break their best friends' hearts, they fake it for one more week. But how can you pretend to be in love and get away with it in front of the people who know you best? And as I said, I'm about 64 pages into this. I'm really trying to power through it over the next couple of days. I'm actually planning on getting to page 200 today, just because I need to pass this on because this isn't my proof. So we're kind of all sharing this proof. At the moment, I would have loved a proof of this one, but moving forward, I digress. So far, I'm really, really loving the dynamic between not only the friends and Harriet, but also Harriet and Wynne. You can really see that there's still chemistry, but obviously things just did not work out between them, and you can see them both struggling with that. I am really excited to see where this goes. I really do hope it's a second chance romance. I hope so. It doesn't sound like it from the synopsis, but that is where my heart is going because I really do like the dynamic. I will say that Emily Henry really does this like enemies to lovers kind of thing really well. Not necessarily enemies, but like, you know, acquaintances, old friends, you know, rivals. Rivals is probably a little bit better for contemporary. Rivals to lovers. And in this one, we kind of have this really heartbreaking moment of, you know, Wynne and Harriet not being together, and you can feel that pain. And I really am enjoying this. I think this might be a really great book to read. I'm really excited. As I said, I'm already 64 pages in and I only started yesterday. So I'm really excited to keep reading. Obviously, a part of me just wants to sit today and do that, but I have work. I have responsibilities, so I need to do that. So this is a book that I am reading. Hi, I am back from the office and I wanted to do a quick little update for Happy Place by Emily Henry. I am adoring this book at the moment. It is truly fantastic. I'm on page 150. A part of me is wondering if I could perhaps finish this book today. It wouldn't be impossible. My goal is to get to page 300 at least and then finish it off tomorrow, but I do kind of just want to power through and finish it today. I think I can. I have like 4, maybe 5 hours left before I go to bed, so that is way more than enough time to finish off the last 100-200 pages I have of this book. So I think I could do it. I think what I'm going to be doing in the next like 5 minutes is literally go ahead and make myself a cup of coffee or tea or something to drink. I'm kind of like in the mood for something, and then just sit down and read and hopefully finish it. I don't know if I'm going to be doing more clips of B-roll of me reading this, just because I will be waiting for my boyfriend to get here. Don't know, but at least for now I'm going to just go ahead and make that tea, sit down, read, and get stuck in this book, which truly is becoming my happy place. Hi, hello, I hope you're doing well. I wanted to do a quick little check-in and give you my thoughts on Happy Place. I currently don't have the copy with me anymore because I have passed it on successfully to my colleague who will be reading it next. We're kind of doing a massive trade-off with the book, but anyways, I want to give you my thoughts and feelings tonight just before I jump into the next book. So basically, I really loved Happy Place. I really think it is her best book yet in the sense of like fiction. I will say that I didn't find it as romance heavy as her previous books thus far. I did think that her Book Lovers was more romantic, and even like People You Meet on Vacation / You and Me on Vacation was also a lot more romantic. This one was a little bit more about friendships and relationships in general, which I really enjoyed. I also enjoyed the fact that we start off with our main characters who had been in love but ended up breaking things off, and we learn about why this is the case and everything, and it took me on this massive roller coaster of an emotional journey which I absolutely loved, and I will 100% be recommending this book in the future. I am definitely going to be pre-ordering myself a hardcover copy because for the first time ever Emily Henry will be in hardcover, which I am of course really ecstatic about because from this point onwards she'll probably be published in hardcover as her first format, which is going to be really, really exciting, I think. But yeah, I really, really love this one. I gave it 5 stars. As I said, I think it's her best one yet, and I am only excited to see what else she has to bring. She is now one of those auto-buy authors for me, which I think is a really great place for any author to really be, is to be a reader's auto-buy author, because that's what she is. Like if she said tomorrow that she is coming out with a shopping list of what she's been buying these last couple of weeks, I would buy that crap like as quickly as possible. So that's the thing. And then I'm also reading Girls of Little Hope. This is by 2 authors. I'm also reading this. I'm reading this for work technically, but it is being co-published by my publisher, the publisher that I work for, and Titan Books, because one of the authors is South African, which is quite exciting. This is set in a fictional world in the US called Little Hope, where essentially during the gold rush era, some guy stumbled upon this cave of gold and found like a gold mine. The description is like basically the walls were glittering with gold. He was the only one who ever could find this place, and he died. He disappeared mysteriously, and then we shoot kind of to present day in the 90s, in the 80s, I think it's actually the 90s. 2 girls have returned from the forest naked, traumatized, going through some things, and they were missing for about 3 days, 3 nights, 3 days. People are wondering what happened to them, and there is a 3rd girl who is still missing. And it turns out that these 3 are friends, like really, really close friends, and now we're kind of getting into the mystery of what happened to them, what did they find out there, and it's kind of sinister. It is horror, so I'm really excited for this. The cover for this is absolutely fantastic, but I'm really excited for this one. This sounds really amazing. This isn't typically, I don't want to say but I don't typically read this, but this is kind of something that falls more in my niche reading, like reading that I do not too often, which is quite exciting. I'm really excited to see how everything unfolds. I am about 10% into Girls of Little Hope. We have a campaign that we're going to be doing this with this one, which I am so excited for. I don't want to spoil too much. I was talking about me reading a book from work called Girls of Little Hope. I actually also finished that this weekend. Oh my gosh, someone just went crazy on the road. And once again, I've also finished this one. I am a little bit more conflicted about this one. I loved the beginning. I love the first 70% of the book, I would say, and then I feel like the ending just got a little bit away from me. I found that, I don't know, I just kind of wanted more from it. I think I really liked it, like a creepy horror aspect of the girls not knowing what they were. I really haven't discussed this book too much on here. I will probably be discussing it in the future a bit more, and just because I also am not too sure what I can and can't say about this book in particular. But I will say that I did enjoy it. I thought it was fantastic. I loved the friendship the girls had, and I did find like the very end, the epilogue point, was very interesting. But between 70 and let's say 95%, things got a little bit hazy for me. I liked how some of the direction that was taken. I feel like some of it requires you to suspend your belief a lot. I think I wanted a lot more from one perspective than what we got. I would have liked a little bit more of a mix, and I will be giving this feedback back. Obviously it's kind of in its, I think, second edits at the moment, but I would give this one probably a 3.5, 4, maybe a 3.75 is a little bit more accurate, because I really did enjoy that beginning and I was thinking that I was gonna love it. I am still keen to do what I had originally planned for this book, because once again, this might not be the final form. This was still, I think, actually after the first round of edits, so there's that. I will be picking up my next book, which I don't know what it's gonna be, which is very exciting. Obviously this is my proof, reading my 2023 proof series, so I'm really interested to see what my next pick will be, because the books that I'm going to be reading now are kind of more lending themselves to other projects that I have on the go, so that's what they're going to be for. But yeah, I'm really excited to see what the next ones bring. I'm hoping that the next clip I share with you will be me choosing the book. But other than that, I will check in with you at a later stage. The next proof that I'll be reading is Silver in the Bone by Alexandra Bracken. So I read Alexandra Bracken's The Darkest Minds and I liked her writing. I just never continued on with the books because I'll be honest, I lost interest quite quickly, but this one seems so perfect. This is a King Arthur retelling, which I'm really excited for. I'm actually going to be preparing for something with this at work. This is nearly 500 pages long, so I'm intrigued to see how that will pan out. This is YA, so we'll see how that all goes. This is coming out in April. I don't know when exactly in April, but it is coming out in April. In the UK it's coming from Quercus. I'm really excited. I think it's going to be an exciting one. I think I love King Arthur retellings. I will have my haul linked up where I talked about this, but yeah, I think break the curse before it breaks you. Let me read to you what it's about. Tamsin Locke is a howler breaking into the ancient crypts of dark sorceresses in search of treasures inside. Now rumors are swirling around about a powerful ring from Arthurian legend, a ring that could free her brother Cable from a curse. But they aren't the only ones who covet it. As word spreads, greedy howlers start circling, and many would kill to have the rings for themselves. Tamsin is forced into an alliance with her rival Emrys, the last person who she wants to rely on. Together they dive headfirst into a viper's nest of dark magic and expose a deadly secret with the power to awaken ghosts of the past and shatter her last hope of saving her brother. So that sounds really cool. I'm really excited for this one. I'm so excited to start it today. I'm hoping to get at least 50 pages in. So I have no idea where that is, that far in. So it's like very minuscule. But yeah, so far so good. I'm really enjoying my reading month this far. I think it's been a really great one. So I'm interested to see how we keep going forward. But yeah, that's the update for now. I will probably have a bit more for you once I have read a bit more from it. Hi, hello. So I wanted to do a quick update of Silver in the Bone by Alexandra Bracken. I have started this now. I'm on page like 68. I wanted to update it before I got more into the book. At this very moment, I really like the fact that we were presented with two kinds of mysteries. One is what happened to our main character. I think her name is Tamsin. Like I keep thinking that it's not. Okay, it is Tamsin. So our main character Tamsin is a howler, which basically is someone who digs graves for magical artifacts, is basically what they're looking for. Her brother has a skill or a power. He's known as one of the cunning folk because he has a talent that allows him to see curses. The only downside is that he in himself is cursed. He is cursed to turn into a werewolf on, I don't know if it's necessarily on like full moon nights or if it's just based on emotion, but that is a curse that he has, and Tamsin wants to help her brother and get rid of it. So that's the one mystery. The second mystery is that she has been given a job of sorts to find the servant's prize, and that's pretty much how far I've gotten. Now she has to find out what this is. Definitely a lengthy book, I will say, but I'm really excited. As I said, I'm liking it so far. I think it's quite interesting, quite fun, and I quite enjoy how it's going to be a King Arthur retelling. I think I mentioned that earlier, But yeah, I'm really excited. I think this is quite a stunning cover, and I do think they're bringing this across both US and UK editions. So I'm excited to continue with this. I'm hoping maybe I can finish it sooner rather than later, but for now I'm just gonna jump in and continue reading it. My goal for today is to get to page 120, so I have about 60 pages left to read before the end of the day. How exciting. I wanted to pop in and give you my thoughts and feelings on this amazing proof that I have here, which is for Silver in the Bone. I loved this book. I've given this book 5 stars. It has been truly phenomenal. I love the beginning to the end. I do think it's a very slow start, but once you get into the actual book itself, it's just a really great read. I enjoyed every single moment. I have gone ahead and gotten myself a special edition of this book. I don't have a subscription to Very Loot or Owl Crate, which are doing this book. Just a spoiler for that, by the way. But I cannot even tell you how happy I am that someone was willing to give up their Owl Crate edition, and it looks like it's gonna be a great one. So I will be getting a finished copy of this book, and I was telling my boyfriend as soon as I finished it, I was like, it's over and this book isn't even out yet, so I have to like wait another like 2-3 years before I can even get the second one, which I'm hoping is not the case. I'm hoping it comes out next year. Wow, this was really phenomenal. I really enjoyed it, and it ended on such a good cliffhanger that makes me so excited for the second one. But yeah, I just really enjoyed the relationships. There are some amazing character cards that were shared by Alexandra Bracken. I'll put some here, 1 or 2 just on the screen for you to check out, and this was just truly phenomenal. I highly recommend it. If you haven't picked this up yet, you should. This comes out in April, if I'm not mistaken, April 4th. Yeah, so it comes out April 4th. It'll be a hardback in the UK, and I'm really excited for this. I cannot like, you have to pick this up. It was phenomenal. If you like anything to do with magic and, you know, heroines and YA fantasy, this is totally it. Hello, so this is probably going to be the last book I'm going to be doing for my 2023 proofs. For at least this video. The proof that I'm talking about is the one I'm trying to grab up on my phone at the moment. That is The Witch and the Vampire by Francesca Flores. I'm about 45% into this. I have about 2.5 hours left. I'm gonna try and finish this off tomorrow. I'm actually really enjoying this. I do think this would be read better than listened to. I just feel like some of the naiveness of the characters would be better off read than listened to. They do sound quite young. The main characters in this are like 16. I really thought they would be older from basically what I remember the synopsis being, but so far I'm really enjoying it. I think the storyline is really fantastic. It's really enjoyable. We follow 2 main characters. We follow Kay and we follow Ava. Ava has been turned into a vampire against her will, but there's a twist. She's also a root witch, which is a earth witch basically. And then we also follow Kay, who is a fire witch who hunts vampires. And Ava has been locked up for the past 2 years in her home, being forced to basically be a power bank for her mom. And Kay had the unfortunate event of where she lost her mother and now hates vampires and believes that Ava's the one who killed her mother. So we kind of have this like enemies situation, but they've known each other since they were children. They clearly have some feelings for each other, and I really can't wait to continue on with this. As I said, I have about 2.5 hours left. I'm hoping to finish this off tomorrow before the weekend, maybe. We'll see. No promises, because tomorrow is going to be a really hectic day at work, but I'm sure I can like forecast 2.5 hours of YouTube watching time for this book. I'm hoping that I do have a little bit of a wrap up for you, but so far I really am enjoying the characters, and I'm enjoying the overall dynamic, because Ava just wants to get to a place that is safe for her, and Kay just wants to find out who killed her mother. So we kind of have this really interesting dynamic going on at the moment, and obviously both of them are keeping secrets from one another, but obviously throughout the journey they slowly coming to light these secrets, and it's just been a really great time. So I'm really looking forward to listen to it further. So far I would say it's definitely on the young adult side. I for some reason thought it was on the new adult side, but I will correct myself at the end when I finished it what it actually is. But so far it's feeling very YA, and I definitely do recommend it. I do think this was a self-published book. I do think you can maybe find it on Kindle Unlimited, but I really am enjoying it. It's called The Witch and the Vampire, as I mentioned. And that's the update for now. So I realized that I actually owe you an update for the following book, The Witch and the Vampire. I don't know if you can see it. I finished it today, and I thought I'd kind of just share my opinions, because I kind of shared at the halfway point, and I'll share now because I actually wanted to start editing this video. But essentially, I really like this book. I don't think it's anything phenomenal, and I do think that the book is very slow. By slow, I mean like it takes a while for things to happen and to take place, and then the ending happens like this. So I feel like the book is really well developed, except for the ending, and I wish that the ending was just a little bit more well-rounded, didn't happen so quickly, but I liked the tone that it ended on at the same note. But yeah, it definitely could have been better. I really like the characters. I think our characters went through a lot of development throughout the book, finding themselves, finding out who they want to be, what kind of people they want to be, what kind of mission they want in life, I guess, because you know, the whole, for both Kay and Ava, they've been told what to do their whole lives, that they have to fit this really specific kind of image. They both learned that actually it's better to just be themselves and be the best versions of themselves that they can be. But I definitely found this one to be enjoyable. I will say that I think this would be a better read than a listen, just because, nothing against the narrators, but the one narrator for Ava just sounded so childish for me. Our characters are on / around the age of like 18 or something along those lines, but Ava just sounded like she was this 13-year-old girl sometimes, and I was like, no thank you. It's definitely a lot interesting. I do think our characters are a lot younger than what they actually are. They act younger than the age that they represent, so I do think that's like one downside, but I think overall the book was like just a really great read. I've heard a lot about it, so that's why I picked it up, and I'm glad I did. I don't know if I will necessarily pick this up ever again, but it was a really enjoyable read nonetheless, like a one and done kind of situation, which is perfectly fine. And yeah, that's kind of my thoughts and feelings on that one. It's finally time for me to start Love Theoretically. This is my third Ellie Hazelwood. I have managed to read previous works before. If I can find the vlog, I'll have it linked so you can find out my opinions, but I really enjoyed Love in the Brain, which was her previous release to this one, and so I'm really excited to jump into it. The writing in this is tiny. I don't know how far I'm going to get in it today because I've already been reading for so long. It's only like 7:30, so for some it's like really early in the day, but I know I have a long day tomorrow, so I don't really know how much I'm going to get done, but if I can get at least like started, maybe even read the first chapter, that'll be fine. I'm really looking forward to it. We have Women in STEM, Broody Older Brother, Fake Dating with a Twist, Olive and Adam cameo, Rival Physicists, People Pleaser, and Dream Job. Those are kind of the things that are in this book, and I'm really much looking forward to it. This is kind of but yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's this one, and then there's one coming out later this year, which is quite insane. I don't think we've had two so far from her, which quite crazy. I'm very much looking forward to reading this. Good morning. So I wanted to pop in and just quickly talk about Love Theoretically before I head to work. I managed to read the first 2 chapters yesterday, and I love it already. It is so much fun to read. It has been, honestly, the first 2 chapters have really introduced us to Elsie, who's our main character in this one, and as well as Jack, even though so far it's just one perspective. I think she usually does write in one perspective, just from the woman's perspective. This has just been so nice. I definitely, like, obviously there's this whole meme and this whole issue around romance authors describing women as very small, petite, etc, and men as big, large, etc. And I feel like as a response to that, Ellie Hazelwood said medium. She's a medium everything. Medium height, medium hair, medium eyes, medium everything. Obviously super smart because she's in STEM, and at the moment she and Jack, as it turns out, are competing for a job at MIT, and it just sounds amazing. The only catch is that Elsie was fake dating Jack's brother Greg, and obviously when she's fake dating, she has like a completely different persona to her life because that's just how things roll, and this is just hilarious. I'm really enjoying it. I'm looking forward to reading more of it today. I don't know how much more I will read of this today, but I really like the first 50 pages basically, because that's how long the first 2 chapters basically are just so hilarious, so funny. I'm already like off the bat going and giggling at everything. So that's the update for now. I'm about to head off to work in like 2 seconds, so I will probably check you tomorrow because it's gonna be a long one today. So I realized I never wrapped up my feelings on Love Theoretically, and I really do because I've basically edited this entire vlog. But let me tell you about my feelings regarding this vlog. I loved it. I ended up not devouring it on the day that I last spoke to you on, but 2 days later I was sitting in a car heading to Sasselberg, which is about a 45-minute drive both ways, excluding traffic, and I decided, okay, I am just going to sit and read this in the car, and that's it. I should not have done that because my brother was sitting right next to me in the passenger seat at the back, and there were some steamy scenes. I did tab this one this time around. I really love Love Theoretically. I think Ellie Hazelwood's romances are amazing. She always pairs the best characters together, in my opinion, like ones that you just root for, that you love to root for, and in my opinion it was just so good. But what I liked about this one as well is we had a friendship and we saw Elsie grow as a person, and she wasn't just stuck being the romance character and wasn't just stuck being the female lead who got everything she ever wanted. Instead, we see her kind of go through a really difficult rejection, and we learn a lot more about Elsie and her family and just how she deals with people and how she thinks she's supposed to deal with people. This one for me was a lot more about Elsie as a person, as a character, than about the romance she had with Jack. And I liked both of them. I liked both aspects. I mean, like, I really enjoyed that we got to learn more about her as a character, got to explore that part of her, but we also got to see her romance with Jack and how he actually helped her grow. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't realize, is that sometimes when you enter a relationship, you aren't really this well-founded person. Like, sometimes you just don't know who you are or what kind of person you are. And sometimes you enter a relationship with someone who really is sure, and then you're not very sure. And that can upset the balance a little bit for you. But what I liked about this is they talked about it. And I think this book was a lot about communication, being open with one another. And it was just overall just a really great experience. I flew through this book, seriously loved every second of it. I am definitely an Ali Hazelwood stan at this point, and I'm really looking forward to her next read already, because I'm so glad we get 2 this year, and I'm kind of feeling maybe I'll do an Ali Hazelwood reread vlog with that book in mind. I'm not entirely sure. Please don't place your bets on me at this point. But I would love to just reread her books from The Love Hypothesis all the way through to this, and then to Checkmate, which is going to be her next one coming out at the end of the year. And I'm just really excited. This was just a phenomenal read. This comes out June 13th. If you haven't pre-ordered it or you're not sure about picking it up, I think you should. If this is your last chance to give Ali Hazelwood a chance, take it. I think this was really phenomenal. I really enjoyed it. I like how romances are becoming a lot more than just romances, which I understand some people want that. They just want that romance, but there's enough of that in here to appease those people. But there's also a bit more to this for people who are more women's fiction readers, and I think it's a book that pretty much anyone can enjoy. Please note that there is some smut content, so obviously not appropriate for younger readers. Is my disclaimer for this, but I really enjoyed it. If you got to this part of the video, I hope that you enjoyed it. I am trying to do a whole lot of different things. This is one of the different things, and as I might have mentioned in the beginning, is to help me or help motivate me to read more of the proofs that I get, because I'm in a very fantastic position where I can get these proofs from work, and sometimes I get them and I'm so excited to read it, but then they kind of fall in the back burner from books that are coming out then and there, or books that are on my backlist that I'm trying to get to, because I'm still trying to work out that balancing act at the moment. So we'll see how that turns out. I might need to start putting in a plan of 1-1-1-1-1 or something crazy like that. But yeah, thank you so very much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Please let me know down below if you've read any of these books. What have you thought about them, or if you're planning on picking them up based on my review or my opinion. These weren't really reviews, they're more like, this is why I liked it, and this is why you should pick it up, because I like it. That's literally my reasoning. But I hope that you enjoyed it nonetheless, and I will see you in the next video.